A trip to Amritsar is like striking travel gold. The largest urban area in Punjab, Amritsar is one of India's most deeply spiritual cities. Tens of thousands of devout Sikhs and cultural tourists alike make a pilgrimage to Amritsar every day for one main reason: a visit to the famous Golden Temple. There's nothing quite like strolling around the glistening structure and sitting down for a communal meal from the temple's massive volunteer-run kitchen with dozens of other visitors. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 rated attractions and places to visit in Amritsar. Now, before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome travel guides, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when we publish a new video. So now, let's cut to the chase. And at 10, Gobindgarh Fort. More than 250 years old, the Gobindgarh Fort has become one of the most iconic symbols of Punjab. The heritage site hails from a time when the Indian subcontinent was divided into small principalities and ruled by kings. At one point, some 12,000 soldiers manned the fort to protect Amritsar from potential invaders. In modern days, Gobindgarh Fort has transformed into an educational attraction dedicated to the history and culture of Amritsar. The complex contains 4 museums, including a warfare museum showcasing rare weapons, a turban museum explaining headgear from the region, and a Sikh art museum. Stick around after dark for the captivating light and sound shows projected on the fort's colonial bungalow. At 9, Khalsa College. Architecture buffs make a point to visit Khalsa College on Grand Trunk Road in Amritsar. The historic educational institution doubles as a premier example of 19th century Indo-Saracenic architecture, a mashup of Western European aesthetics with the exuberance of Indian and Persian styles. With elegant onion domes and scalloped archways, Khalsa College's palatial main building is impressive and has served as a setting of many Bollywood films. Spend some time wandering the tranquil campus and gardens, but keep in mind that the academic and administrative buildings are reserved exclusively for students and staff. This is still a working university after all. At 8, Ram Bagh Gardens. Looking for a serene escape from the hectic streets of Amritsar? Head to Ram Bagh Gardens, a sprawling public park. The green space brims with rare plants, flowers and trees, and features refreshing water features filled with goldfish of all things. You'll also find statues throughout the gardens, including a memorial for Ranjit Singh, leader of the Sikh Empire in the early 1800s. At the centre of the park, tourists can check out the historic Summer Palace. While significantly less elaborate than other palaces you'll find throughout India, the 2-story red stone building offers a sense of place, with scalloped doorways, inlaid marble floors and pretty balconies. In the northwest corner of Ram Bagh Gardens, tourists will discover another prominent attraction, the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Museum and Panorama. This institution contains a collection of important artifacts to Sikh culture, including garments worn by warriors, antique coins and beautiful works of art. Its most famous exhibit, though, is a multimedia diorama that depicts Maharaja Ranjit Singh's early life and greatest battles. Sound effects of battle cries bring the diorama to life. At 7, Baba Atal Tower. Often overshadowed by the neighbouring Golden Temple, Baba Atal Tower is a worthwhile attraction in Amritsar in its own right. The structure is an architectural marvel, with 9 octagonal stories stacked 40 metres high, making it one of the tallest structures in Amritsar. Baba Atal Tower is dedicated to Atal Rai, the son of Sikh Guru. Legend has it that Atal Rai performed the miracle of bringing someone back from the dead and then gave up his life in penance for the sin of interfering with God's work. The sightseeing opportunities from the top of the tower are some of the best in all of Amritsar. At 6 now, Jallianwala Bagh. Tucked behind the Golden Temple, tourists will find another important site in Amritsar, Jallianwala Bagh. The public garden memorializes the estimated 1,500 people who were killed or injured when British soldiers were ordered to fire on peaceful protesters who were demanding the release of imprisoned leaders of the Indian independence movement in 1919. You can still see bullet holes in the walls that hundreds of victims hid behind in an attempt to dodge the gunfire. The Memorial Sites Martyrs Gallery displays the portraits of important figures of Indian independence. You can also check out a humbling exhibition on the victims and see an eternal flame. At 5, Mandir Mata Lal Devi. The Mandir Mata Lal Devi is as bizarre as the Golden Temple is elegant. Legend has it that this Hindu temple, dedicated to the female saint Lal Devi, can boost the fertility of women who visit. But to non-devotees, the labyrinthine attraction resembles a fun house. You'll wander down dark, narrow passages that lead to garish rooms covered in mirrored mosaics, walk through the open mouths of funhouse-style animal carvings, see giant wooden cobras, and crawl through a watery cave to the shrine of Lal Devi. The entire experience will give you a new perspective on Hinduism and the ways devotees practice their spirituality. It's also proved to be one of the most fun things to do in Amritsar. At 4 now, Punjabi Restaurants. Punjab cuisine has become known around the world for its spicy curries, pillowy breads and tandoori-fired meats. If you're looking to indulge in this tradition of colourful feasts, there's no better place to do it than in Amritsar. Barawande Dhaba, located kitty corner to the Partition Museum, whips up downright decadent Amritsari culture, stuffed with Indian cheese or potatoes and served with spiced chickpeas. Oh, sounds great. Tear into the Punjabi breakfast staple of chol puri at Kanya Sweets, just a block away from the BBK Dav College for Women. Dig into tandoori chicken from a decades-old recipe at the Bira Chicken House, across from the new Bandari Hospital. And if you've got a sweet tooth, treat yourself to piping hot jalebi at Gurdas Ram Jallianwala, a hole-in-the-wall sweets shop just 400 metres away from the Golden Temple. At 3, Partition Museum. The year 1947 was a big one for India. Not only was it the year that India gained its independence from Great Britain, it was also the year it split into the two different entities of India and Pakistan, an event known as the Partition of India. Tourists in Amritsar can learn about this defining moment in history at the Partition Museum, the only institution in the world devoted entirely to partition. It features a haunting collection of newspaper clippings, antique photographs and oral histories with people who experienced the violence leading up to the separation of the two countries and the resettling of refugees after the event. The experience will give you a deeper understanding of the source of rivalry between India and Pakistan. On your way out of the museum, jot down a message on a green leaf and hang it on the Tree of Hope. At 2, it's Wagah border ceremony. A 31-kilometre drive west of the city centre of Amritsar will take you to the border of Pakistan, where a curious border-closing ceremony takes place at sunset every afternoon. Full of pomp and circumstance, the beating retreat ceremony involves an ostentatious display of goose-stepping guards from the Indian Border Security Force and the Pakistan Rangers saluting each other, lowering and folding their flags and closing the gates at the border. The experience gives tourists the chance to see the stark differences between Pakistan and India. On the Pakistan side, you'll see men and women sitting separately in stadium-style seating, and the vibe is much more subdued. On the Indian side, however, it's a patriotic party. Bollywood music blasts from speakers as women dance in the street, while those in the stands wave Indian flags. While just 45 minutes long, the entire ceremony gives you enough memories for hours of storytelling back at home. And finally, at number 1, it's the Golden Temple. The definitive top attraction in Amritsar is the Golden Temple, a 2-story structure covered in real gold and surrounded by a 5.1-metre deep man-made lake. But not merely a tourist site, this legendary religious shrine is one of the most sacred places in the world for Sikhs, many of whom make a pilgrimage to the temple at least once in their lifetimes. To enter the Gurdwara complex, where the Golden Temple resides, you'll need to cover your hair, remove your shoes, and step through a small stream of running water to cleanse your feet. Then you'll walk clockwise on the inlaid marble path that flanks the pool as worshippers chant and bathe in the water. Making your way to the glistening inner sanctum of the temple, where priests chant songs from the Guru Granth Sahib holy text, is just one of the many things to do at the Golden Temple. This attraction is home to the world's largest community kitchen, welcoming anyone to sit on the floor and savour a free vegetarian meal with other visitors. It's mesmerizing to see hordes of volunteers chopping onions, peeling garlic and cooking huge vats of lentils and roti for up to 100,000 diners every day. That's a big meal. You can also see a collection of holy Sikh weapons inside the Atal Takht hut and learn more about Sikhism in the Golden Temple Interpretation Centre, tucked beneath the clock tower entrance of the temple. The Golden Temple is an inspiring place and one that you can get personally involved with if you wish. You can volunteer at the Golden Temple kitchen and bond with locals as you prepare lunch. You can also sleep at the Golden Temple in one of its pilgrim hostels for up to 3 nights. Sleeping here gives you easy access to the Golden Temple at sunrise, the best time of day to see the structure shine. And there you have the top 10 rated attractions and places to visit in Amritsar. Did you like what you saw? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fantastic travel guides. See you next time.